all right. Welcome. I'm here with Dr. Teresa and Stuart Warner. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so you have, I'm looking at your business called Warner Chiropractic Center for Pediatric, Prenatal, and Family Wellness. Okay, so you're in the health industry. So much controversy going on right now as far as vaccines, as far as women giving birth, and I think they're saying black women are dying at a high rate. There's so many things I'm hearing right now in terms of the whole bringing life into this world. I want to ask you, how do you feel about what's going on right now? Are you pro-vaccine, anti-vaccine, pro-hospital, anti-hospital, pro-doctor, anti-traditional doctor? Like, give me your views, please.
That's a lot of questions, and
we are happy to answer.
One of the things we need to recognize is every childhood illness has skyrocketed without exception. Asthma's doubled in the last 10 years. It's up over 400%. Allergies are rampant and out of control. 1 in 35 kids are diagnosed with autism. There are 10 million visits. 10% of kids are diagnosed with ADHD. 1 in 6 children are learning delayed, according to our government. Obesity is on the rise, diabetes, colic, reflux. Our children are getting sicker and sicker. These statistics are shocking, and parents are desperately looking for better approaches and solutions. And the traditional pediatricians' major approach is to try to suppress the symptoms, but they do not address the underlying cause, because the normal state of our children should be health. Our children were born to be healthy. They were given an immune system and the natural processes to heal themselves and adapt to the environment. So, our major role as chiropractors is to make sure the spine and nervous system is healthy, because the brain and nervous system is what controls the healing of the body.
Yeah, so we're pro family and pro allowing your body to do what it was naturally given by God to do. We are anti-vaccine and enabling your body to be able to overcome illness by itself, which is what we were created to do. By inhibiting it so much on such a massive scale, we're just allowing disease to grow more rapidly than ever before. And you can look at antibiotics and how antibiotics were just given out like candy again and again and again. And now we have all these antibiotic-resistant wings of hospitals. So we see problems with inhibiting the body's innate potential instead of allowing that to occur. So regardless of race or creed or socioeconomic status or where you are or where you live, the same problems are affecting us, and it's getting worse and worse. Where we see in the 80s, 10% of kids had a chronic illness. Today, with all of this intervention, 54% of kids now have a chronic illness. Wow. So our society is getting sicker and sicker. We're the most vaccinated country in the world, and yet we have one of the lowest infant mortality, or one of the highest infant mortalities, and the sickest kids in the world. We're one of the wealthiest countries in the world, and yet our kids are getting sicker and sicker. So what we're currently doing isn't working. It's going in the reverse direction. So we need to stop it, look at what's happening, and reverse the trend.
Indeed. Just off camera, I told you guys that my pediatrician gave me and my girlfriend the boot, because my son isn't vaccinated, so they told us they couldn't see us anymore, which is pretty scary. So there's plenty of people like me all over the country who, because of this, they, even if they don't, and their gut tells them something's wrong with the vaccines, but they feel forced to do it regardless because of the pressure of the medical industry. What kind of help can somebody like me get for a situation like that?
Well, first is the pediatrician is working for you. You are paying the pediatrician for their advice, and if they don't respect you and your decisions that you make, you need to find another pediatrician. And there are other pediatricians that are becoming harder and harder to find, but when you do, they will partner with you and really get to know your child to be able to help you make the best decisions for your child. So if a pediatrician is kicking you out of their practice, Thank goodness, because you don't want that pediatrician to be helping you with your healthcare decisions.
Yeah, 100%. Because if they don't agree with that, chances are you're not going to be in agreement with so many other choices. I find that those are the same docs that may not be giving the best advice on breastfeeding or extended breastfeeding or co-sleeping or all these other healthy options and decisions that moms have to make. And so it's so important that you get someone that's aligned with you and the choices and that gives you options and allows you to know that you have a choice. I say to my husband, if I hear one more mom come to me and say, if I had only known, I didn't know. And you know what? That's why this show and these things are so important, because you have to know that there are so many options out there for you. You have a choice, you have a voice, and you use it. And you use it for the betterment of yourself and your family. And you protect them, because these are our kids, and God enabled us and gave you that child. And it's our gift back to God, what we do with that. And so we need to protect them. And if you feel convicted to be on this, one side of this issue or the other, then live it. Find a pediatrician or a doc or a pediatric chiropractor that's in your corner and that can help to guide you down that right road. Do your research, make your choices, and just feel happy and satisfied with those choices that you made, because you're doing what's right for your family.
Yeah, the first thing to give parents reassurance is to understand that the body knows how to heal itself. You get a cold, the doctor doesn't heal your cold, the body heals it. You break a bone, the doctor doesn't heal your bone, the doctor can set the bone, but your body actually does the healing to make it stronger.
People think the NyQuil does the healing or the Robitussin or something like that.
No, and that's a good point, because that just covers up the symptom. If you were driving your car and the red oil light comes on, and that oil light is a sign that something is wrong, it annoys you. So what you do, because the red light annoys you, you take out a piece of masking tape, you put it over that red light so you don't see it anymore, and you continue driving. What would happen to your car? Obviously, it would break down. Or if the smoke detector was going off on your ceiling and the alarm was going off, and that alarm was a sign that something was wrong, and it was annoying you, so you take the battery out of your alarm, so then the house burns down. Well, when your child has a fever, a cough, difficulty sleeping, that's a sign that something is going on. The approach to take a drug to mask it or cover it up only allows the underlying cause to continue and perpetuate. So the difference between the medical model of suppressing the symptom and the chiropractic model, which is correcting the underlying cause so your body can truly heal and be stronger and healthier, is something parents should really know about. So, the doctor is within. Most parents, should look at being their own pediatrician and, supporting the body, watching the fever heal the body. The fever is not part of the problem, it's part of the cure. The one thing I'd like all your viewers to know is that their kids they were made smart. Your body's smart. It recognizes if there's a virus present, what does it do? It raises the temperature up and creates a fever. The fever kills the viruses and bacteria. It's a healthy process. It should be celebrated. And what happens if you give drugs to lower the fever? The virus, bacteria stay there and can cause more problems. So, we really want everyone to have the reassurance to know that your body knows what it's doing. And, if it's not an emergency or crisis, give your body, your children's body, the chance to heal and become healthier.
Just to educate some viewers who may not know too much about chiropractic work, is that the right term, chiropractic work? That's basically, that has anything to do with the energy of the body? That is...
It does, very much. It's we deal with the spine and the nervous system, but there is this innate potential within your whole body, that's that potential that God gave each one of our bodies to be able to heal, to be able to come together from 2 cells to replicate into 4 and 8 and 16 and keep going and birth this beautiful baby, and for us to grow and constantly continue to grow and heal and evolve as a human being. And so there's the spine and the nervous system and your brain and that side of the function, and then there's this innate potential within your body to be able to heal and to replicate. And so as chiropractors, what we do is look at how your nervous system is functioning. Sometimes people, when they hear chiropractor, might think about the bones or alignment, and so that's a component of it. But it's all about the nerves and how your nervous system is functioning, because that's the master control system of the body, and it controls not only things like your digestive system and your cardiac and respiratory system, but really key, your immune system, and making sure that the body stays healthy. So if there's interference in the nervous system, and our vehicle to that is through the spine, and that's why we'll analyze the spine and the alignment of it, if there's interference in that, the body will start to miscommunicate and start to break down. And so we're able to correct that with what we call an adjustment and get the body to heal and to work better.
Yeah, what Terry said is so important, and every child from birth onwards needs to have their spine evaluated by a doctor of chiropractic, because once you understand the important role that the spine and nervous system plays in your health and well-being, it's something you're going to choose to do the rest of your life. So, if you witnessing your children, see that they're a certain level of health, we all know that there's more opportunity for better health, a stronger immune system, better brain function. So by the chiropractor adjusting the spine and removing the nerve interference, that body is going to work at its optimum level. So it gives every child the advantage to make sure they have a healthy spine and nervous system, and the doctor of chiropractic is the specialist at that.
I always hear, I don't know if you're familiar with the term Kundalini energy. Does the chiropractic work have anything to do with that? I don't know if you're familiar with that term. It's like an energy that's at the base of the spine, and it rises up the body. Is that tied in with chiropractic?
Yeah, every chiropractic technique works by removing interference to allow that energy to flow more freely. It's not our expertise to know that specific, name you're using for the energy, but the energy flow is very important, and the spinal adjustments certainly help the energy.
Yeah, whether you call it that, call it chi, call it, there's all different kinds of energy. We always have that energy, and making sure that that's what's working right throughout the body is 100% what it's about.
What's one of the main things that causes the interference? Would you say it's food, stress? What would you say is the main thing that causes interference?
Oh, you can go ahead.
Yeah, you just nailed it right there. Because there's 3 categories that will interfere with your child's nervous system. One is physical stress, so the birth process, learning to walk and falling down, car accidents, sports injury, sitting wrong, sleeping wrong, backpacks. All the physical stresses will cause the spinal bones to misalign, which we call a subluxation. It interferes with the nerves and compromises your body's abilities. The number 2 is mental stress or emotional stress. You're stressed out, there's emotional issues, your muscles get tight and it pulls the bones out of place. Then there's chemical subluxations. When you're exposed to chemicals, like through vaccinations, through the food, through the air, that is going to cause what's called a visceral somatic reflex, where the irritation in the lungs and the stomach will reflex back to the spinal cord and cause tightness and misalignments. So those are the stresses, and since in our society today and in all of our communities we're being exposed to physical, mental, and chemical subluxations on a daily basis, so it's so important to visit your doctor of chiropractic, who can analyze the spine and help remove that interference, so your body can immediately start working better and healthier and have a stronger immune system. And she'll work with you on how to prevent those stresses from causing the subluxation.
Is there any truth to the science of power poses? Like they say, how Superman stands like that, and they always say sit up straight. If you sit up straight or you position your body a certain way, does it affect your health? Because they say depressed people usually slump over. So is there a science to standing a certain, like posture and standing a certain way?
Sure, posture's a mirror to the spine. So we often see what happens, what people look like on the outside is a reflection of what they're like on the inside. And so when we see that, we see an unhealthy posture, an unhealthy nervous system, and it can be linked to more shallow breathing and more anxiety, more depression, asthma, things that are depressing your immune system, where if we can improve that and ground people, then we lift that up, open up the breathing, and allow their whole body to work better. So yeah, that's really is an important thing, and the two go hand in hand. If your spine is healthy, you're going to be naturally doing that, and the reverse is true as well. So working on trying to do that yourself, absolutely do that. And once your spine is moving the way it's supposed to, your body will naturally stand up straighter, and people report that back to us all the time.
The lifestyle most Americans live now is sitting at a computer, sitting on a chair at a computer. They say that's dangerous. I think they call it a sedentary lifestyle. Is that dangerous, just to sit in front of a computer all day?
Yeah, sitting at a computer all day, at a computer playing Xbox, as you mentioned, a sedentary lifestyle. The studies that have come out over the last few years are comparing it to smoking. It will shorten your life and damage you being seated all day as much as smoking will, because when you're sitting, your joints aren't working, you're not getting the neurological input to the brain, you're not getting the lymphatic drainage, you're not getting so many body processes that are designed on being active and moving. So to be sedentary and inactive is very detrimental to your health. So it's very important for getting active and being involved in exercise or sports. If it's breathing, stretching, but also it's very important to be able to take breaks when you're at the computer all day or playing Xbox. Get up for a couple of minutes.
They
stretch,
actually have
breathe.
standing desks now. They have standing desks.
Yeah, those are great, and there's a lot of different things that you can do that way. We actually have a term for it. We call it text neck, when everybody's texting all the time and your head is down and you're in constant flexion. And it actually can change the curvature of your neck, which makes it more unhealthy and your spine more unhealthy. But getting up and just simply moving around, or the trick of the day is take your phone from your lap and bring it up to eye level, so that they can bring the iPad, the phone up, and that already, we talked about posture, it lifts your posture, it opens up the breathing, and keeps you so much healthier, just doing simple things like that.
One more question. I don't want to keep you guys too long. I appreciate the interview. Do you guys practice, I don't know, it's not rebounding, where they put somebody upside down? Is there any inversion?
Therapy.
Do you practice inversion therapy?
That's not something that we do.
Okay.
But however, when parents have so many questions about, what do I feed my kids? Should I do supplements or not supplements? And breastfeeding, and should we vaccinate? All of these things are so important, and Dr. Terry has a show called the Dr. Wellness Mom Show. It will be seen on iTunes and YouTube and Facebook. That's starting in January. So if you go to drwellnessmom.com, that's drwellnessmom.com, you can get on a list and get on all this information and topics that are vital to raising healthy kids, because when your kids were born, they didn't come with an owner's manual. You're figuring this out on your own, and so to have the best information available to raise the healthiest kids is very important.
Yeah, I really, and one of the most important things especially for the parents out there to know is that you're not alone. So many of us, people come in and they kind of whisper, or even, you mentioned that you talked to us before the show, and it's like, well, I have this question, I might not vaccinate, I decided to homeschool my kids, and it's like a hush-hush, like I wanted to breastfeed or home birth or co-sleep or do these things. You know what? There's millions of us out there. There are so many parents we all have the same questions going in, and there are millions that are making the same decisions that you are. So if your sister or your mother-in-law or your best friend aren't the ones supporting you, there's a whole tribe of moms out there who will. And we're going to teach you also how to get them on board so that we can all be doing it together and living that healthy lifestyle. But know that you're never alone, that we are all making these decisions, and together we'll improve the health of the next generation and grow up with healthier kids.
Definitely thank you for your time. Is there any other, you left the website, is there any other contact info, like a phone number or email you would like to leave for the people?
Sure, if anyone has questions, they can email drswarner@aol.com. That's DRSWARNER@aol.com. And, you know, it might sound daunting that every childhood illness has skyrocketed. We're looking at the sickest generation in the history of our world right now. This is the first generation that will not outlive our parents. So it's so,
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. So it's
Sad.
so important that we get educated, get empowered, learn about the brain and nervous system and how that keeps your body healthy, and about good nutrition and all the other things that are going to, allow your children to be part of the normal state that we're all supposed to, see our children in, and that is health.
One more quick question. I know I said I was going to let you go. Is technology hurting us more than it's helping us right now?
Technology is a double-edged sword for sure. You know, we can't live without it, but it's definitely causing issues as well. So there are ways that we can use technology healthier. Like we talked about, with making some adjustments, limiting screen time at night for kids before bed, because they're not able to sleep well if they're looking at the screen before bed.
The blue light, they said.
The blue light, right. So doing that, changing the positioning that we're using the technology in when they're doing it, not using it before the age of 2. You know, don't let our babies and our real little ones be doing screen time and playing games or watching it. And if it is, it's for a moment. It cannot be sustained, because we're dealing with neurology and how their brains are growing, and that affects them the most when they're super little. And so there are things that we can do to certainly use technology on our side. And so it's a great, great gift to us, but we want to make sure that it's not harmful to our kids as well.
Thank you so much.
Our pleasure.
All right.